If you can't touch your team, you're not close enough. A lot of the time we get called in to remediate projects. That means they've gone bad and they're about to go off a cliff. One of the first things that we observe is you can't see who the team are. And if you can't see who the team are, how do the team know who the team are? It's a firm belief that we have that if you can't keep a team together, how are you going to deliver? The team that sits together delivers together. If you can't touch your team, then you're too far apart. We've actually gone to the extremes when we have gone on to client sites to come in with a bunch of spanners and remove all of the partitions. The first thing we notice on the day that we start is that communication starts again. People start talking. As soon as you start talking, the project starts to lift. When people are enclosed in cubicles, in offices, or they're dispersed across the whole building, hot desking as well has a big impact. The teams just don't function. There's no bonding, there's no gelling, there's no feeling part of the greater good. We had one program that we took over, and based on their velocity, their story points, agile terms, we actually call them complexity points. They were delivering 70 story points a week. We removed the partitions, we had everybody sit together, and we started the team bonding. The first sprint after that, that team delivered over 200 story points. Now, we did cross-check those complexity points using relative estimation, and yeah, they actually had over 3x'd their output just because they could sit together and ask questions. When we sat down and we interviewed the team, we said, why did this happen? And they said, well, I can ask the question straight away. I don't need to say, oh, I'll speak to Janine or Drew this afternoon when I run into them in the coffee room. They can actually say, I can just turn and ask them right there and then, and I start to get the response and the speed improves. So here's the tip. If you can't touch your team, you're too far apart. And I know there's remote teams, but we'll talk about how to handle those a bit later as well. Thanks. Go lead.